The story of a country often starts with its name. El Salvador is no different. The name itself, the Savior, tells you a lot about its history. It's a name that echoes with faith, conquest, a dramatic past. Spanish conquistadors arrived here in the 16th century, bringing their swords and their religion. It was Pedro de Alvarado, one of Hernán Cortés's most trusted and ruthless captains, who led the charge. He was looking for gold, glory, new territories to claim for the Spanish crown. The land he found was lush, volcanic, and fiercely defended by its inhabitants. When the Spanish eventually established control, they began renaming everything. Mountains, rivers, newly founded settlements were given names that reflected their own culture and beliefs. The full name given to the capital city was Villa de San Salvador, or the Villa of the Holy Savior. Over time, this name was shortened and applied to the entire region. It was a powerful statement. Long before the Spanish ships ever appeared on the horizon, this land was home to sophisticated civilizations. The story of El Salvador's first people is a journey back in time, a tale written in stone, pottery, and the very earth itself. One of the earliest and most significant groups to settle here were the Maya. Their influence stretched deep into western El Salvador. They built cities, developed complex calendars, and had a deep understanding of astronomy. A remarkable window into this past is Joya de Serén. Often called the Pompeii of the Americas, it was an ordinary farming village. Around 600 AD, Loma Caldera erupted, burying the entire village in ash. The preservation is astonishing. Archaeologists have found homes, tools, woven baskets, even half-eaten meals, all frozen in time. An unparalleled glimpse into daily life. Following the Maya, other groups rose to prominence. The Lenca established themselves in the east, and the Pipil became the most powerful group the Spanish encountered. When you look at the people of El Salvador today, you see a rich blend of histories. The vast majority, around 90%, are mestizo, people of mixed European and indigenous American ancestry. It is the living result of the colonial encounter. Spanish settlers, Pipil, Lenca. This fusion is visible in faces, in food, and in a unique blend of Catholicism with indigenous beliefs. The mestizo identity is the dominant thread. Despite the majority, indigenous roots remain. Groups fight to maintain identity. Lenca, Cacaopera, Nahua people. For centuries, languages were suppressed, lands were taken, and people were pressured to assimilate. A brutal event in 1932, La Matanza, killed tens of thousands, forcing many to hide their identity. In recent decades, pride has resurged. Communities teach Nahuatl, revive crafts and ceremonies, while Afro-descendant and immigrant communities add depth. The culture of El Salvador is a vibrant explosion of color, sound, and faith, deeply rooted in history. Religion plays a central role in daily life, predominantly Roman Catholic, a direct legacy of Spanish colonization, visible in churches and festivals. Processions wind through streets. Incense, flowers, and brass bands fill the air. In San Salvador, Fiestas Agostinas honors the divine savior of the world, highlighted by the dramatic Bajada. The Transfiguration reenactment reveals a brilliant white garment, symbolizing transformation and hope. Parades, fairs, and religious services draw massive crowds. Salvadoran culture thrives in arts and crafts. La Palma is famed for a unique folk style popularized by Fernando Yort. Bright colors, simple designs, and childlike innocence depict rural life, nature, and religious symbols. Using native woods and seeds, the town becomes a living gallery, testament to Salvadoran creativity. The cornerstone of cuisine is the pupusa, thick handmade corn tortillas stuffed with cheese, beans, or chicharron, cooked on a hot griddle and served with tangy curtido and mild tomato salsa. More than a meal, it's a national symbol, food of the people, shared in homes and pupuserias everywhere, a delicious taste of the country's heart and soul. Understanding the economy means starting with the money people use daily. Since 2001, El Salvador has used the US dollar, dollarization that aimed to stabilize prices and ease US trade. Inflation fell, but monetary policy control was reduced, linking outcomes to Washington, D.C. A massive share of income comes from remittances sent by Salvadorans abroad, primarily in the United States. Millions left during and after the Civil War. Today, remittances often top 20% of GDP, funding food, housing, education, and healthcare. Capital fueled by love and duty. In 2021, El Salvador adopted Bitcoin as legal tender, championed by President Nayib Bukele. Goals: cheaper remittances, financial inclusion, and foreign investment. Its long-term success remains debated. Beyond money policy, traditional sectors matter. Agriculture remains important with coffee, sugar, and corn, though it employs fewer people than before. Manufacturing, especially textiles, drives exports. Tourism builds on beaches, world-class surf, and rich archaeology. El Salvador's path is complex, reliant on outside forces, bold in experimentation, and powered by hard work. Life in El Salvador is a constant conversation between past and present. The Civil War of 1980-1992 left deep scars, displacement, and post-war gang violence. Recent crackdowns improved public safety, but roots of the problem remain complex. Hardship forged resilience. Salvadoreño que se respeta can handle anything. Joy and community endure in celebrations, markets, and warm welcomes. Known as the land of volcanoes, these peaks bring beauty and danger. Fertile soils power coffee, even as eruptions and quakes remain a constant risk. Respect for nature and life's fragility shapes the worldview. Ecotourism and park preservation tie the future to protecting the environment. Traditions live daily. Pupusas shared, artisans at work, and Nahuatl spoken again. Ancient and ultra-modern coexist, devout Catholic traditions alongside renewed indigenous spirituality. A nation connected to its diaspora, yet fiercely proud of its identity. The spirit of people warriors, farmers of volcanic soil, and a new generation writing a peaceful chapter. For all its troubles, El Salvador looks forward,